Hey, good morning, YouTube. It is 5 o'clock in the morning on launch day, September 12th. And yes, I look pretty miserable. I just realized that without my glasses on. But it is launch day this morning, and I am up, getting my breakfast, and getting ready to throw cash in the Jeep and head off to the grocery store. Well, actually, Meijer, to pick up some food staples, and then I'll be on the road by approximately 7 a.m. I'll be back at you in a few minutes. Well, everybody, we are officially underway, although it is only 16 miles from home. First stop is the ATM. Miss Cashmere is taking to her harness pretty well, and I'm gonna run in and grab some money. Well, everybody, I'm at the grocery store, getting ready to go in and get something to eat for the trip, and I got a pack list. So here we go. Okay, well, note to self, if you go shopping for an overland trip, expect a $300 bill if you're buying your groceries for the whole week, like I did. You know, Miss Cash over here, she's getting upset. I think she's got to go potty. But it's going to have to wait till I load and then go get some fuel. And then we are on the freeway. Yes, you heard me right. We will be on the freeway. Stay tuned. Well, as of right now, I'm about 20 minutes behind. Not bad. Mrs. Cashmere needed to use the potty, and I got to organize and put some insoles in my shoes. So, we are still in Cadillac, Michigan, but we are only 20 minutes behind, which isn't bad considering the last road trip I made. I was probably 3 hours before I left. So, just giving you an update. See you shortly. Well, we had our first rest stop. Not quite as far as I expected to get before it. Only been on the road maybe an hour. But oh, Miss Cashmere was not having it being in the front seat. Apparently she was a little frustrated trying to get in the back. Kept trying to get in my lap, even though she's in her seatbelt. And I was it was getting irritating because every time the car would pass, she'd flip out. So we stopped at a rest stop. I got to use it. And did a little rearrangement. Now she's got twice as much space as she had in the back seat, and she no longer can get in my lap. So we are in Big Rapids, Michigan as of right now, making our way down to Grand Rapids, making good time, cruising along at 75. That is the speed limit, and that is where I got the cruise locked because the old Jeep seems to like it there with the rooftop tent. Come back and get you later. Well, here we are, stopping again real quick. Cashmere needed to pee. We are in Saugatuck, Michigan. I believe I pronounced that correctly. Just south of Zeeland, Holland area. Beautiful day, 60 degrees, no breeze, light traffic. We're just cruising along. Well, second time to stop and get fuel. I am past Chicago, almost to where, who knows where. Anyways, I'm making my way. Well, everybody, trying to find a good spot to see the camera. We are about 110-ish, 125-ish miles from Omaha, Nebraska. So we are making good time. Right now, Miss O'Cash here, she needed to get out and stretch her little legs and take a walk. So it's kind of what we're doing at the moment. We're at a Maverick somewhere on I-80 heading towards Omaha. I've got a camp spot picked out about 2 miles west of Lincoln, Nebraska, that is supposed to be a free community campground with boat launch and such. Don't need the boat launch, but pond would be kind of cool. So we will see what we get when we get there. So, see you in a bit.
quick little video update. It's been about 4 or 5 hours, I think, since my last update. As every adventure has, there's always a snaggle, and I had one. Spent 3 hours on the side of the road. Blew a tire. Turns out the tire blew because the exhaust rotted through in the middle, which who inspects their exhaust before a trail ride like this? I didn't. And then it wrapped around the rear axle, which led to me pulling the drive shaft so I could get it out because of clearance and length, which led to finding out my drive shaft U-joint was on the verge of blowing out because half the pins in it were powdered and it was dry as a bone. And mind you, I didn't I had what I thought was a little tire hum every once in a while in certain harmonic zone. Never put two and two together that might be the U-joint. So, after pulling it apart on the road and it being 10:30 at night and no parts store open in Lincoln, Nebraska, I did what any good redneck would do. I filled that thing up with Dawn dish soap, put it in, and then limped the 30 miles to my campsite, which isn't much of a campsite because I was late getting here, so I didn't get one. So we were actually camped in the parking lot, sleeping in the Jeep, not in the tent. Can't pop the tent here. It exclusively says tents only in the site. They will let you sleep in your car. But I pulled a redneck, limped here with Dawn dish soap in my U-joint. You heard that right. Tomorrow, I will hunt down a parts store, get 2 U-joints, one for replace, one to keep on hand. I'm going to have to get a new bottle jack because I also discovered the bottle jack I brought was too short. So, anyhow, I'll update you guys more in the morning. Right now, I'm exhausted. I've been up for 21 hours and I need to get some sleep. So, I will pick this up tomorrow. Later.
Good morning, everybody. Day 2. I look like crap eating a pickle. That's because I only had some baby wipes and I really haven't cleaned up too much because here in another 5 minutes we're going to be heading off to the local O'Reilly's to pick up a couple of U-joints and fix the Jeep and continue on with our adventure. But what I wanted to share is this beautiful little park, campground, lake we're staying. Okay, everybody, I'm here at O'Reilly's in some little cool town here in Nebraska, and I am in the midst of doing up the drive shaft U-joint. Yep, that's what I'm working on. So, stay tuned. Well, we're at another rest stop. We are about 4 hours and 30 minutes outside of Denver finally, so we are making some good time. I did discover that my 0447 probably should have not done it. Does not like 10% ethanol fuel that I was putting in it because I was getting it at a budget. That budget is costing me some efficiency. It's also taken the performance of the motor and probably knocked it down about 20% to the point it does not like grades and wind. I've had to, because of the rooftop tent being on it and that extra wind drag, I've had to kick overdrive off and just drive it like I'm towing something to keep it from popping in and out of overdrive. So it also does a funny idle from time to time when I'm sitting still if I just let it idle. So all of a sudden I'll idle up and then she'll almost stall when she does it. So, lesson learned. No 10% ethanol fuel. My next fuel up, I'm going to try and run her almost all the way down, and I think I'm going to grab some premium fuel in it just because it makes sense to do. New U-joint's doing good. Spare tire's doing good. So far, so good. The coils that are on her are not handling the extra camping gear and the rooftop tent with freeway speeds very well. I'm pretty sure by the time I get done with all the adventures we've got planned once we get to Colorado, I think I'm going to be in a situation where she's going to need some new coil springs in the rear because they were used and just
it's just not happy. Let's just put it that way. This is if most of you have probably paid attention, this is the first really long-term trip I've made. I've made 100-mile trips and so on and so forth, but I'm driving halfway across the country to go play in the woods. So, lots of lessons learned, and I think what I've decided is I thought about a 4-door JK for a while, but I have an LJ that I'm getting ready to do a full build on, and I think I'm going to go more of a trail rig, overland rig with my LJ, stock look, stay on 35s and hardtop, and make my LJ what I would make a 4-door JK, because let's face it, I already own it, and it's fully paid for. So why would I buy another Jeep? I've got it. I just got to put money into parts. Anyhow, I will check back in with you guys a bit later. Well, we stopped again for fuel. I'm actually grabbing my receipts. I'm only putting in like 50 at a time. I noticed when I went to leave that the gas tank has a either a leaking check valve at the top or a breather that's not doing something right, because if I go right to full, I get a wee bit of a fuel drip. If I stay half a gallon, 1 gallon underneath it, she don't. But as soon as I start driving, it goes away, because I've drove like a mile, stopped, checked it again, no drip. So she got something goofy with the check valves on the tank. I didn't tank tuck this one, but it does have an evap delete on it, due to the fact that when I was building the bumper, I oopsed and kind of cut my evap in half with a cutoff wheel. So I didn't have any other choice, because I'm not going to buy the parts, and this is to get me by for the time being. So I just did what I needed to do. But anyhow, so yeah, that's the check-in. We are within, I think, 25-ish miles of getting off of I-80, which I think it's something 927, I don't know. Anyways, we're almost there. We were going to stop off in Denver and see some sights, but I'm going to beeline it up into the mountains. So we are headed for the Playfair area. And the only reason why I kind of picked that as a destination is the GPS didn't want to pick a trail. And I've got a couple of routes in that area that I've picked out with a campsite or two. I just, before I get there, once I get into Colorado, I got to stop and grab my ORV and a fishing license, and then I figure I'll get about 3 hours of trail in tonight, and then it will be make camp. So, see ya.